Next month's coronation will be a triumph for Camilla, the completion of her rehabilitation from the hated other woman to queen. And now one of her closest confidants has for the first time revealed secrets from Camilla's life that were fiercely guarded for decades.
All right, let's dive into this. What we've got here is a story about Camilla, Harry, Meghan, and the broader drama inside the royal family as a coronation looms. The core theme? Camilla's ride from hated other woman to queen consort, and Harry's sharp, almost venomous attacks on her, which clash with his past words of warmth. Then we got Angela Levin and Lady Lansdowne weighing in, suggesting Harry's been brainwashed by Meghan, leaving him cut off from everything that once gave him stability. Camilla. For decades, she's carried the stigma of being the other woman, blamed by many for the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage. She was vilified in the press, mocked in cartoons, and cast as a heartless homewrecker. And now, she's about to be crowned queen. That's not just a title. It's a completion of a decades-long rehabilitation arc. Camilla has gone from being one of the most despised women in Britain to someone who commands respect and, dare I say it, sympathy.
Lady Lansdowne is Camilla's best friend, godmother to her daughter, and one of the Queen's companions, a new role replacing the traditional ladies-in-waiting. And speaking to the Sunday Times, she revealed that when Prince Harry used his toxic tell-all to pile further misery onto his stepmother, Camilla, I was deeply upset. So this is what Lansdowne said. Of course it bothers her. Of course it hurts. But she doesn't let it get to her. Her philosophy is always don't make a thing of it and it will settle down. Least said, soonest mended. Now, Harry's attacks against Camilla as dangerous and as a villain were a sharp reversal from this comment he made to Angela Levin in 2018, where he said, William and I love her to bits. She's a wonderful woman, and she's made our father very, very happy, which is the most important thing. So as the biographer of both Prince Harry and the Queen Consort, Angela Levin has a unique insight into relations between the pair, and I'm delighted to say that she joins me now. So, Angela, when you take all of this into context, isn't it ironic that Harry is demanding an apology from the senior royals, including Camilla, when really he should be apologising to her?
Yeah, I think Harry's so mixed up. He doesn't know where he stands, actually. And I think he uses very strange words, and actually they have no meaning if you really think about them. You know, he said that she was a villain, and that will lead to bodies on the street because she was talking to the press and trying to get her position liked even more. I mean, you know, bodies on the street. What, you know, she's not going out with a gun. I mean, it's very extraordinary. I mean, Camilla's attitude really is that time heals all. Otherwise, she absolutely wouldn't have been able to cope with all the nastiness she had when Charles and Diana split.
But when we look at what Harry said to you, right, in 2018, because for viewers who don't know, Angela actually spent a huge amount of time with Harry. You really know him. You know him better than any journalist. It's a complete 180. So yes. Do we assume that Meghan has got into Harry's ear and turned Harry against Meghan, or was Harry lying to you at the time?
Well, he had no reason to lie. He could have said that he didn't particularly like her, but he would just accept her because his father wanted him to. He never said that. I didn't try and press him on that. I was very careful. And that's what came out, the same way that he brought up the subject about his mother and walking behind the coffin. Actually, the art is, as you well know, in interviewing, is to chat, and then they bring out things that are waiting there in their heads, but they haven't said. But
so something's changed since Meghan came into the picture.
Meghan has changed everything. You know, I've just been talking about him and the army, and he loved it. That's where he felt he came alive. He felt he was doing something really important, and he loved it. Now he looks back and he hates it. So why have all these things changed? They've gone absolutely round. And I think the whole lot is Meghan. He's been brainwashed and he's been left out to dry. And I think that he's taken on everything that she feels and not what he feels. I don't think he hates the family as much as Meghan hates it and wants him to hate it. So he wants to please her.
This is a very significant intervention, though, by Lady Lansdowne, because, I mean, this is Camilla's closest friend, right? I mean, she's one of her ladies-in-waiting. She's been around for numerous years. Now, there's no way Lady Lansdowne would speak without the permission of
course,
the Queen, the King, the royal institution. So it feels like Camilla wants to get her message out.
I think she feels now she shouldn't stay quiet all the time. She was quiet for years. She didn't go out. She didn't speak to anyone. But she feels now that she's going to be and is already in a very important position. In that important position, she can help others who need it. But she also has to show her own strength.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel the job is a 50-50, not at all. It's Charles's job. She's not going to interfere. But she does feel that, well, as Meghan said now, it's a bit of a round, that she has a voice. She's got to...
This isn't just gossip. The Harry-Camilla feud speaks to a larger question. How does a monarchy survive when family members themselves become its biggest critics? Camilla's strategy, quiet resilience, selective public responses, seems to be working. William's strategy, silence until after the storm, protects the crown. Charles' softer, more emotional approach leaves him vulnerable.
And there were some very important moments where they looked into the fact that the Queen consort really thought about speaking up, for example, about the censorship of Roald Dahl, which was really interesting. But the reason I'm sort of going deep on this is because it's the fact that she's spoken out against Harry. That isn't a coincidence. And given the sensitivities at the moment, Angela, we're learning that Charles and Harry have spoken on the phone for the first time. Doesn't this have the potential to derail any sort of reconciliation between Harry and his father? Because we know how sensitive Harry is. He hates it when sources connected to Charles or Camilla speak to the media.
Yes, he grumbled about it. One of the reasons why he didn't want his father to marry Camilla was the fact that she would take him away from him so he wouldn't have much attention. Now, this is a man in his late 20s, you know. I mean, it's a very sad thing to have said at the time. But I think you're absolutely right, you know. I think she's very protective of King Charles. That's her main aim, to support him. And I think that she feels that if she doesn't make a stand, then he can't say what he wants to say. I think she's half speaking on his behalf in a circular way, as it were.
Do you think Charles is making a bit of a mistake by speaking to Harry before the coronation? Because I believe that William is doing the right thing by saying there will be absolutely no communication at this point. I'm giving you the cold shoulder because here's the thing, Angela. Any form of communication that Charles or William have with Harry or Meghan at the moment risks being leaked to the US media or their own media, and that risks overshadowing the coronation. So William has said quite clearly, no. I'm not even considering speaking to you. We're not going to exchange one word until after the coronation.
Yeah. Well, I think it is a concern. If they spoke on the phone, he can tape it. He can run it again. You cannot trust him anymore with anything like that. And I'm wondering what they said. And, you know, he's vulnerable about loving his younger son. And it's difficult, of course. But I think he should have stood up and not said anything. You know, are you coming or you're not coming? You know, make your own mind up. I'm not apologising. I'm not doing any of this. I think he could have said that. But if they've had long talks of trying to repair things, I think that was a mistake. But he obviously longs. This is the father versus the monarch, isn't it?
It is. I just wish at the moment, given the importance of the coronation to the future of the royal family, I wish at the moment he would lean a little bit towards the monarch side.
I think it is like the Queen has done in extreme circumstances. You find that she did that with Harry, and she adored Andrew. She adores those two, or did adore those two. And I think he should have waited till after the coronation and seen how he behaved. We don't know how he's going to behave. We don't know what tricks he's got. We don't know if he's going to be late for something and upset the timetable. We don't know, but I think you can't trust him anymore. He's lost...
Planned his own PR stunt.
Yes.
But I think, being completely honest, I think the likelihood of that has seriously diminished now that Harry's coming without Meghan.
Yes, I think that he will, but... I think that's quite brave of him because he's been emasculated, really. Yeah. And so it's quite difficult for him to go on his own anywhere because he doesn't know if he's pleasing Camilla.
Well, it's funny.
A very sad
he
way.
called me a sad little man in his book. You know, this
Did
awful
he?
Despair. Yeah,
Yes.
he did. But actually, don't you think we all just look at Harry at the moment and think, you're the sad little man?
Yes.
Because you are now a shadow of yourself unless you have your master Meghan with you, telling you how to dress, telling you how to act, telling you what to speak about.
And not to be too friendly.
Yeah.
And Harry has become the wild card, a destabilizing force the institution can't control. The coronation will be a symbolic test. Can the monarchy project unity and stability, even with its most rebellious prince sitting in the pews, is strange and unpredictable? What strikes me most is the irony. Camilla, once branded the villain, is now seen as a steady hand. Harry, once the cheeky hero, is increasingly cast as the unstable, sad little man. This role reversal is almost Shakespearean, and it shows how quickly reputations can shift, especially when family feuds spill into the public arena. The coronation will be a triumph for Camilla, but it may also be the moment the world realizes just how far Harry has fallen.